Hi everyone, this is Killshot99 Gaming, and this is Preacher episode number 5, Dallas Reactions live chat. Pretty good episode tonight, so as people start to roll in, do have to tell you if you're watching this for the first time, there will be spoilers. We are going to talk about what happened tonight, so if you haven't watched it, you may want to watch it and then check this out tomorrow night. I know several people, this was a little bit late for some people in different areas, so they're going to watch a little bit tomorrow. But those of you that are here tonight, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for everything that you do. We've got a few people coming in, reading through some of the chat. Moody Girl, it's going to be a long day. It's a great song, Matchbox 20, one of my favorites. So wasn't going to do the stream tonight. It was, I won't say last minute because I did let most people know a couple hours in advance. But I was going to wait, do the random things tomorrow. But it's been a couple days since we've done a live stream, so I thought, let's get together. I don't care, you know, even if it's 30, 40 people, whatever. Let's get together, talk about a little bit of it. We will do random things tomorrow, and then we're also going to do Walking Dead Wednesday. There will be no stream on Thursday. Once again, I've got a conflicting scheduling issue. So, what's up, Kale? Hey, y'all. Nathan Buckley, thanks for being here. See a couple new people. If you guys are new to some of our live streams and reactions, this is kind of the deal. I'm going to read some of your comments, so I will put some of your comments in the video. I'll actually read them. So if it's something you don't want included, be careful what you say. So, yeah. What's up, Caesar Roots? Joe McGuire, thanks for being here. Tommy, the sweet-ass enforcer McCann, you didn't change it to Sugar Buns yet. So, yeah, the name's probably long enough right now. So I know a lot of you were following the beach journey as well. So, hey, Lindsay, how you doing? So I'm going to get into it. You guys start leaving some of the things that you recognize from the show tonight. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I saw that really stood out. A lot of symbolism in here, and just the storyline continues to amaze me. I thought the the whole thing where one thing about Preacher is they'll show the same scene over and over again until it really, really sinks in. They've done that maybe 4 times, 5 times. So obviously, Jesse wanted a baby. Tulip made him think that, but she had the birth control hid up in the vent. So just kind of leading him on more and more. I guess just to appease him. A couple things that did stand out. We're going to talk about this tonight. Is the parallel between what I thought between Reggie and Cassidy. So we're going to talk about that. And we can. Jack O'Quinn, send me a kick message. So Jack says on Random Things, can we talk about The Walking Dead? We can talk about whatever you guys want. So you guys shoot me some ideas over on Kick, K-I-L-Z-H-O-T, and I'll incorporate some of your ideas. Genesis that like button. That's what I'm talking about. The Saint of Killers is going to come after you. That's a long name, Lindsay. So let me get into it. I'll start with a couple topics. You guys can leave your comments and I'll jump around and read them. So I thought it was interesting that, first of all, you could see Jesse's frustration with Tulip. When he realized she wasn't out selling houses, she was doing things behind his back, and he took it out on Reggie. So I thought that was interesting that, his buddy's there, and he lost it. I mean, he beat the dude down, and Reggie's personality just reminds me, to an extent, of Cassidy. Cassidy's not as stoned and seems a little bit more level-headed, but they both seem extremely loyal. So leave your thoughts and comments. And what you thought about the beatdown scene with Jesse and Reggie. What's up, KI Streamer? Thanks for being here. So Lindsay is a big Cassidy. So Lindsay, you like Cassidy? I'm going to get you to like Dwighty Boy before the end of the season. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he was just so frustrated at Tulip, so he had to take it out on somebody. But I will say, as I wait for a few of your comments with this, I thought Cassidy did a good job of sort of telling him and trying to rebuild that loyalty. But Jesse was right on the money. I mean, I felt the same way. I felt like Cassidy was there to be the hero, right? He just walked out. He did it for Tulip. He can say it's just all about friendship, and I think there is an element of friendship there. But he is trying. He seems like, to me, he still cares about Tulip a little bit more than he cares about Jesse. And I think Jesse kind of saw through that, where he said, "You're here to play the hero. Why should I trust a druggy vampire?" And when Cassidy turned it around and said, "Well, if the difference between you and me is if someone was there in front of me, I would not show restraint," then you can see Jesse start to actually get a little, either he was angry or he got the tears in his eyes knowing that, look, I don't have a lot of friends out there. So I think that was, to me, that was the turning point. And leave your thoughts and comments. It is going to happen, Lindsay. You will like Dwight. Trust me. They are going to make Dwight into a superhero this year. You guys write this down. I'm going to say by the mid-season finale, Lindsay Luke will be a Dwighty Boy fan. Yeah, Tommy, that's what I thought too. And not that he dislikes Jesse. I mean, there's a friendship there. But, that's the other thing, how hard that is for Cassidy. Think about that. Like, as much as he likes Tulip, but just to be the third wheel. But I guess at this point, where else is he going to go? And the torture scene with Victor. When I knew we had old Jesse back, it wasn't vengeance and hate-filled Jesse. It was great when he walked in to the kitchen, got the beer, left everybody hanging just long enough, and it was epic, right? I took him down. And was so obvious about it, but said it in vague terms to where you, as an audience member, and also both Tulip and Cassidy, were like, what do you mean by that? And it's, I took him down. I didn't kill him. I took him down. So just leading him on long enough to let him know that I did the right thing. I thought that was just classic line. So we did this with Fear the Walking Dead. Thank you, Sue. Sue says, "Kills, I love all of your live streams." You know what? I'm going to read that every time. So if you guys could do me a favor at this point, and let's do a rating system from a 1 to a 10, and let me know at this point what you think the Preacher should get for the first 5 episodes. And I'm gonna read a few, and then I'm gonna call on you and just see, what holds your rating back, or what is the reason why you give it a good score. So Lindsay's coming in with a 9, Moody Girl 9, pretty high rating so far. So you can definitely see Rick Grimes 10 of 10. It doesn't get any better than that. That's like up there in Walking Dead territory. Chaos 8-7. Chaos, if you're in the 8-7, which is a little bit on the low end compared to some other people that are here, what's holding it back for you? Kale 8.5. And in the same token, I'm going to call on Rick Grimes. 10 out of 10. So, in your eyes, this is well written, good acting. What do you see as putting it over the top? What do you see making this season so good? I like the fact that tonight was kind of was more of a prequel than most, because season 1 was basically a whole prequel to what's going on now, and then here they are in season 2, and it's a prequel to season 1. So it's kind of funny the way they're doing that. Northside Queen, welcome Northside Queen. She gives it a solid 8. Harley Quinn, up in the 9. I like the first season too, because I was just trying to understand it. But I do feel there's a lot of things. I wish I had more time to actually analyze it and go through the hidden clues. Like when he's walking by the church, I'm sure the what was said in the sign in the background is relevant. It's just I haven't had a chance to do a deep dive into it. Hey, thanks, iRock. Hey, thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. Even if it's just for a few minutes. Thanks for being here. So yeah, Rick Grimes saying the way the characters act. Yeah, I think so. Good call out. What's up, Flynn? So Tommy wants to know where I put it. I'm right along with everybody else. I'm going to say it's a solid. It's a 9, if not slightly higher than a 9. I just know there's tons of things that I'm missing. But also I'm watching it a little bit differently than I watched The Walking Dead. Like with The Walking Dead, I know that we're going to do spoilers, and I'm going to do hidden clues because, the writers keep me on my toes with some of that stuff. I'm going to do reactions. With Preacher, it's more, I'm just going to sit back and be entertained by it. Yeah, I am, as much as you guys have asked me, and I can't make it into a full Game of Thrones stream either. I'll possibly catch up. So if I do Game of Thrones, you guys will be the first people to know. I'll announce it and we'll talk about it. But I just have not took that leap yet. So many things going on. I mean, we're doing Preacher, we're doing Fear the Walking Dead, we're doing The Walking Dead, and then, some of the other stuff. Bullet Ball says Glenn died. Get out of here. Glenn died? All right, so I'm going to ask a couple more topics with Preacher. So Victor dying at the end by the Saint of Killers. Give me your reaction to that. So we see Victor as a kind of like a mob boss, and then pushing Jesse. Basically the whole time he's tied up, he's just cussing him. You think Jesse's going to kill him at some point, even swings the axe. And then you get a little bit of that flashback, and you see Victor is just, he's somebody that took Tulip in. That Tulip clearly was never in love with him, but, they're just playing Monopoly. And you see the softer side of Victor. And then, he reads to his daughter. I think that was important as well, too. It was definitely ironic that his daughter comes to the door. He pulls out the was it Uzi, I guess. I'm not very proficient in automatic weapons, and she goes, he says, you want to take some target practice? She's like, can you just read to me? And I found myself going back and forth with this. So he sits down to read, and what does he read? He reads the Dow Jones is at an all-time high. So what you see is I think the writers do an excellent job of keeping you on your toes, where you can't really get sentimental, or you can't really get attached to Victor and to some of the other characters as well, because they keep showing the flaws of the character. You know, Victor's a killer, then Victor really loves Tulip, he plays Monopoly. Victor's a dad, but he's a very insensitive dad that, you know, doesn't pull out a Dr. Seuss book, he's reading the Dow Jones. So, thoughts on Victor's death? Warranted or unwarranted? And we got some hey, we got some Random Things fans out there as well too. Kel, Jill McGuire are both big fans of the Random Things. And honestly, of the streams we do, it's Random Things is one of my favorite as well. So I'm glad you guys like that, and I appreciate it. We are going to be adding a top 10. So oh, I'm reading a couple comments here. All right, thanks, Jack. Appreciate you popping in. And then I'm going to tell you about some of the other streams that we're going to do throughout the week as we start to get back into full season. So Harley says, I really didn't care about Victor. He wasn't in the series long enough for me to make a connection with him, so him dying doesn't matter. So, yeah, no connection. Read a couple more of your comments. So Matt says, better story than in the comics. Victor's death was good for progression. So, you know, once again, I'm reacting to the TV show. I have not read the graphic novel. I've heard it was it'd be very tough for me to read it, even, and this is coming from people that, as graphic as the Walking Dead comics are, says that the Preacher is a whole different level. So I may check out one or two. Yep. When Jesse used the Genesis, saying if killers tracked him down. Good call, Lindsay. You know it's coming at some point. Yeah, I guess I'd kind of forgotten about it. I mean, I knew he did it, but I just wasn't. I thought Victor was kind of home free. What's up, Indy Jones? Missed you too. Thanks for being here. All right, so I'm going to throw this out there now. Those of you that have watched every episode of Preacher, and we had a really, really good debate with Walking Dead when I asked this question, so we probably don't have time to go a deep dive into it. So we talked about what could be the most memorable, and then we talked about Season 7 with Walking Dead, like, you know, what's the things you remember the most. And a couple of people gave me some random stuff, but most people said the Glenn and Abraham beatdown. That was up there with most people. So far in Preacher, first 5 episodes, what, if you had to pick one thing that has created the biggest impression or that you remember the most, what would it be? So first 5 episodes are in the books. What is the most memorable part of Preacher for you up to this point? And it's going to be just a little bit of a pause because I know a few people are going to be thinking about this and typing this, but I want to get that included as part of this video. Yeah, Moody, that's definitely up there. I don't think you're going to be alone with that one, actually. What's up, Jaden Harris? Absolutely. I'll give you a shout out. Thanks for being here, and thanks for supporting the channel. So Moody's getting the ball rolling. She says the intestine siphon is the most memorable. Lindsay says Angel Cassidy goofing off in the room. That was funny. Yeah, I can't. There's been a few for me. And the Saint of Killers, I mean, him just popping up. I mean, it's hard to get his impression out of your mind as well. Yeah, so Matt says the bonding with Adolf and Eugene. Good point. That actually was pretty deep. Wasn't one of the first things that I remembered, but now that I think back on it, it was definitely pretty impactful there. The cops holding hands. Tommy. Yeah, the music selection as well. But all in all, I mean, we've all got it rated pretty high. Jamie, I am not going to do the Game of Thrones unless I really, really get caught up. And John Buck, if you can just not do that. Appreciate your creativity. But I would rather read people's chats than about 500 emojis. Yeah, when Preacher sent Eugene. Yeah, and I guess lastly, let me get your thoughts on this relationship is very complicated, isn't it, between Jesse and Tulip? I like the fact that we found out the reason that Tulip left Victor was because of Carlos. So she just couldn't get Carlos and that revenge out of her mind. It was worth giving up everything at that point. I mean, I'm not saying she was overly happy, but she was content. And then once Carlos came in the picture and she said, does Jesse know? And it really came full circle. You see, you know, everything they went through when basically they were criminals, the breakup, Jesse had this conviction, and really they've done so much wrong. Jesse at this point just wants to go back into being a preacher. He just wants to be forgiven. Tulip, she's kind of like, I guess because she was content there with Jesse, she's the odd person out, moved on with Victor, but waiting for that opportunity, and then, of course, Carlos brings them all together. Good point, Kale. But, you know, and the more you think they aren't right, the more, I think Cassidy even said it. Like, well, Jesse said it to Cassidy. He says, you know, if I do this, it's over. And then Cassidy, in so many words, is like, there's, you know, a world of no Jesse and Tulip. It's not going to happen. And it's true. I mean, even if she would have, if he would have killed Victor at the end, I still think they would have gotten through it. And I think Lindsay brought it up a little while ago. How's Tulip going to react when they find out about Victor? Well, we saw some sneak peek from next week, so it looks like it's going to be a lot of revenge. Or try, they're going to have to find a way to get to the Saint of Killers. I mean, this dude looks invincible at this point. So I think a lot of the rest of the season is going to be about finding a weakness in the Saint of Killers. So I'm going to leave it. The last question that I'm going to ask you, if you have read the comic, which I have not, and the Saint of Killers is in there, and there is a weakness that you know about, don't spoil it, even though I know we do spoilers. I do want to ask you at this point, the Saint of Killers looks invincible. Is there a way that you think that Jesse can take down the Saint of Killers? So this is going to be the last question I'm going to ask you, and then we're going to do a little bit of a schedule. We're going to talk about what we're going to try to do, and then I'm going to do shout-outs, and we're going to end the stream in about 30 minutes. So is there a way that you think that Jesse can take down the Saint of Killers? Thanks, Jaden. That's a great compliment. Jaden is like, I don't even watch the show, but I like your videos, so I'm here. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here and supporting 999 Gaming. I don't see a weakness in the dude right now, other than, um, the person that summoned him, but he's gone. It's a good point, Lindsay. Enlist the people in hell. I mean, they are there for a reason. Good point. Hey, you know what? I'll buy that. That's as good as any other explanation I've heard so far. Kel, I'm not sure as much as I want to agree with that. She says, he's a man. It's something to do with a woman. Could be. Um, I don't know, Jumbuck. I don't know if Jesse's insane. He definitely has the power going to his head at certain points. I don't know if he goes quite into insanity, but he goes back from normal to power monger, I guess, kind of that quickly. So, you know what? We're going to dwell on that a little bit. So, when this video goes live, if you guys could leave your thoughts, leave your comments. If you think of any other ideas or anything from tonight's stream, this is a little bit of my reaction, a lot of your reaction, some of the comments to some of the major events that happened tonight. I think we covered most of them. So, real quick, just want to throw a couple things out there. We are starting to sort of get back on our normal schedule. We're going to get to Preacher reactions we're going to do on Monday. Random things, we're going to move that to Tuesday. Wednesday Walkers is going to stay Wednesday Walkers. We're going to talk about Walking Dead. And we're going to find something to sort of put in for Sundays. I know there's a lot of Game of Thrones, and I'm not caught up with that, nor I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to do Game of Thrones. But if not, we will put something in that Sunday evening slot as well, too. So that's going to give us a few streams. I may transition that to our top 10 until we get back to Fear the Walking Dead or I get caught up. So I know we briefly mentioned that last week, but we may pick a topic and then just talk about some top 10s or, some several degrees of Kevin Bacon, how all this stuff is related to each other. Because we have some good segues in our streams, and it seems like most people really like the random things. So I think this could be a variation of the random things, but a different way to do it, whether it's a a music band, a group, one-hit wonders, anything along those lines. Could be movies, summer smashes, all of those. If you have some ideas for either, I'm going to come up with some catchy name for our top 10, or also the random things, then shoot it over to me. Kick, Kilzhot. Appreciate everything that you guys do. On a really, I like to keep these light, and I'm not going to go into too many details because, we're all adults. I did get a little feedback and with our streams, and I don't really monitor chat hardcore. I think our moderators do a pretty good job. But I've had a couple people either on social media, and I don't think it's in the streams. I think there are some people that talk to each other. There's a lot of friends here, but at times they feel like they're either ignored or they're not a part of it. And the one thing I'm going to tell you guys is I try to do the best I can to acknowledge as many people as I can. But on a given week, I probably get, I would safely say, 2,000 messages, and I can't respond to every person that responds to me. And I don't want to sound insensitive, but I get people from gaming that'll send me copies of their teams. They'll ask me about different movies. One of the things that I do try to do either on the Facebook site or on here is respond to different groups. Like on the Patreon site, I'll post videos and those or pictures, and those pictures will be for 15 or 20 people, and it allows me sometimes to come up with a topic where if I can't always individualize the conversation, I try to get it to a point where I can at least talk to different groups. So I'll do the best I can to respond a little bit better, but sometimes it is a little bit overwhelming. So I just want to say that, appreciate everything that you guys do, but if sometimes it takes me a little longer to respond to you, please don't take it personally. I appreciate everything that you guys have done to build up this channel. With that being said, see, there's the serious note. Let me do some shout outs and we will wrap this thing up. So appreciate everybody being here. Want to say what's up to Kelsa Smile, Moody Girl, Sue Smith, Tommy the Sweet Ass Enforcer McCandless, Westwick 88, Matt Briggs in the house, Lindsay Luke, Jaden Harris, ND Jones as well. Who else we got? If you guys want to shout out, let's hear it. Jill McGuire, thank you for being here. And I'm on top of it. Rick Grimes, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. You absolutely get a shout out. You know what? I think I covered a lot of people in that quick little section there. Jamie Taylor, absolutely. Thanks for being here. And if I miss you in a shout out, just when the video goes live, leave it in the comments as well. Because, as we get closer to the end of the summer when Walking Dead hypes up a little bit more, there's going to be a lot of new faces. It happens like that every year around late August, early September. We get new people in chat, and the veterans have been here for a long time. There's a lot of camaraderie, and people get along. Sometimes you get a new person, and it takes them a little while to fit in. So the one thing that I would ask just all of you is when you start to see new people in our streams, make them feel welcome. And I think for the most part, most people do. But remember, we were all kind of new to these streams at one point, and the more they feel welcome, the more insight, the more they're going to add. I fully believe that a lot of different opinions add value to everything that we do. So thank you. I see Harley Quinn as well. That's all right. You might have missed a lot. Watch the playback. All right. Thanks, everybody. Once again, if I missed you, I apologize, and I will catch you on the next stream. Thanks for stopping in. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Random Things. We're going to rock that. Have a good time. Peace.